Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully, going to be done with this flu soon and be back to business as usual. Sorry, I've been a little bit under the weather for God. It feels like a lot of this week, actually. Anyway, talking about this slate, it's. I just want to say, like, I really don't like this slate tonight at all. I've said that before in one tournament when I said that, but I'm just telling you, my personal look is for some reason my core is not showing up on our thing, but I'm gonna fix that in a second. But I'm gonna just show real quick, like do a screen share of just like where Saber's sitting. I think I shared the right screen. Did I? I think I didn't actually. Oh wait, there we go. Now we've got it right. Yeah, let me just make sure. Okay. Yeah, so basically, like it's hard for me to get away from some of the chalk. I actually would have Curry a lot ahead of Sumner, assuming that he starts. It's really going to come down to who's starting for them. But either way, I'm going to play Cam Thomas. I think Sharp, I'm playing either way. I'm just going to eat the chalk. I understand the argument for pivoting over to Noel. I just don't think I really want to do that. You also have a lot of other minimum costs that might project well after the starting lineups are out that aren't currently. Like, for example, I think that Deshaun Nix will probably start and project better than he's projecting right now. I'm sort of into fading most of those guys, and I'll just show you guys a quick glimpse of where my lineups are right now, because I don't really want to change much from what I posted on the site. I'm just going to do a really quick view here and show this. Just make sure that you guys can see it. Yeah, so that's basically what I've got with my lineups right now. I don't have a whole lot of things that I'm getting crazy different with. I like the Memphis stuff, I think, a little bit better than maybe most people do, and I'm hoping that some people sort of get off of that a little bit. But I'm going to play Bane and Tyus Jones together. I like this matchup for them. I think that this is going to be a big spot. So they're trying to win games. I'm going to play with that. I'm also going to play both Holiday and Middleton. I know they're both chalky-ish. I just think that they're playing to win. It's an easy natural stack with the other side of the game, which you're already playing Sharp from. You're already playing whether Thomas or Curry or Sumner, and then possibly DFS to mix in a stack as well. So that's sort of the roundabout way. Not the roundabout. There's the direct path of what I'm doing today. Fire on any questions and thoughts, because I think there's some other arguments. I can talk through each game real quick to say other plays. Like, I didn't get to DSJ, but I think it's a good tournament pivot. I just found my 4 guard spots useful. I have a guard in the utility in all my lineups right now. I will have a guard in the utility probably in all my lineups, but when we're done. Dennis Smith Jr. would be the guy I would consider here. I don't mind if you wanted to talk about stacking this game. I just personally didn't love it enough to do so. Not playing enough lineups today where I'm going to get to it, but I wouldn't mind, if you wanted to throw in a Hayes and pick your other favorite running mate with either Rozier or DSJ or Oubre on the other side. I just personally am not doing it. In the Utah game, I really don't have, like, even with Clarkson out, I think you can play Horton Tucker. I think you can play Olynyk. I'm just going to remind everybody we've had the situation come up, and it's not like these guys have crushed it as of late, except for a few outliers. But I'm personally okay with fading Utah tonight. I think that Mo Wagner is a core play for me on FanDuel, but not on DraftKings. And I do think that he's an interesting tournament play, but I'm just not getting to anything here. Franz Wagner's price makes him okay. Like Jalen Suggs, fine. Personally, I'm just not all that interested in this game either. In Houston, the hardest decisions were deciding not to play Jalen Green or Deshaun Tate. I think that I feel okay about it. Instead of playing Jalen Green, I'm going to play Tyus Jones. And I think that Deshaun Tate is right there with Dorian Finney-Smith today. But if I'm going to already be stacking up that other game naturally, I think I would just play Finney-Smith over Tate. But if I wasn't stacking the game, I would probably play Tate over Finney-Smith. And I don't think I'm going to do the Knicks thing, even if he starts. Super large field is all that I get to on Indy today. Because the guards are so strong, I couldn't get to Halliburton, which I think is a little bit scary, although he's going to have some ownership. I thought Jordan Nwora was a good tournament play and Miles Turner, but I just don't feel like my builds led me to them. Golden State, I do have some DiVincenzo just literally because he happened to fit. I told you the guards are loaded and I needed some middling forwards. I wouldn't mind Draymond Green either if I ended up with that. I just ended up liking my build a little better with it like this. I do like Tyus and Bane as my 2 favorites. I don't mind Jaren Jackson Jr. I think he's going to be lower owned than he's currently projected. I also don't mind Xavier Tillman. The game of the night, obviously the Brooklyn-Milwaukee game. Look, I told you my priorities, Day'Ron Sharpe, Cam Thomas. I think Curry would be the next guy for me, then Finney-Smith. But because the guards are so loaded, maybe you play Finney-Smith instead of Curry. If Curry starts, though, it's kind of a tougher fade. And I think it's a very good chance that he does. That's assuming we don't hear about a minutes limit or anything like that. Milwaukee side, I'm going with Holiday and Middleton. I'm totally fine if you want to play Bobby Portis or even Brook Lopez, to be honest with you. But I'm going with Holiday and Middleton as my main ones. I'm trying to think if there's anything else from this one that I didn't touch. No, not really. This is the one that's really frustrating to me because I was before the Milwaukee news. I was going to just try to make sure to run a Sabonis and a Sabonis versus Randall stack, and I was kind of good with that. But Jalen Brunson's still a legit questionable. If he's out, I think you'd want some exposure to guys like Quickly. But again, we already have 6,400 Jalen Green, 6,700 Tyus Jones. So even if he's out, it's not like Quickly becomes a must play at this price. So it's just what I'm thinking about. And on the Sacramento side, nobody stands out individually for me from this game. I do think if you wanted to pay up and overspend and stack this game and use the value elsewhere, that is a route I would definitely support. Thanks a lot, Brandon. I'm doing a little bit better, but man, it's just been a rough one. It's just that everybody I know seems to have it too right now. Lopez over Middleton or Holiday. I think that's a really good tournament strategy. I don't think Lopez gets enough credit that his usage and his production does go up without Giannis. You see he put up 40 in the last game. I'm still siding with Middleton and Holiday, but I completely support what you're doing if that's what you wanted to do. I don't think there's a bad blood matchup at all for Clay here. I don't have that read in any way, shape, or form. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the other night with Clay against OKC. I'm sorry. This is what happens. My brain just is a little lost. Yeah, Clay, I don't see that Clay having a bad blood thing being a thing for Clay with Steph back. I don't really understand that type of thinking. Clay is not a guy he doesn't dribble the ball. You know what I mean? This is a catch and shoot guy basically, and maybe take a dribble or two and I don't know, get their other ways. It's okay. On FanDuel, maybe you could play it 7,500. I'm not all that interested in it personally. There's always a chance Clay hits 10 threes, but I'm not looking for a bad blood game for him to have a 10 3-point night. That's just not the way that it works for me personally. Trey and Brooks ejections. That's in play. That's certainly in play. I wouldn't be shocked. It should be a fun game. I like that I have some exposure to it. But yeah, I think these teams put their best foot forward tonight. Anyway, guys, fire on your questions. I'm going to stop my screen share and just answer with questions with what time we have left. Again, I'm not playing much today. I'm not feeling well still. I'm trying to get over this thing. So I'm just going to try and take it easy. And I've got my kid this weekend. So really just trying to be healthy for that. Anyway, guys, fire on any questions or thoughts. I'm happy to answer or go through anything. I don't have a whole lot else to share because I sort of said everything I'm doing on this slate. As well as, again, if you're a premium member, you guys, I do my early builds, and I just say for everybody that I haven't changed my builds yet at all from the early two that I posted. So still debating if I even want to. So that's where I'm at today on this whole slate. I'll give you guys a minute to fire on any questions or any thoughts. Sorry, we don't have Sheets today. I believe he's back. He will be good to go tomorrow. I should be good to go tomorrow as well. Assuming this thing leaves my body at some point. Anybody got a golf sweat going on? I'm very happy that I ended up with 10% of Justin Suh, and that I ended up with 10% of Ryan Palmer, who's currently 3 under. I also have 20% of Adam Svensson at 1% ownership. He's 4 under, which is nice. Scotty Scheffler was my biggest spend up, so the other one's getting crushed, and him doing well is good for me. I was ahead of the field with 16% Morikawa, but I didn't have enough to brag about. I didn't have much Ben Griffin, a little bit of Taylor Pendrith, but not enough to brag about. Sam Burns, well over the field with 20% Sam Burns at 4 under. That feels good. Or maybe 15% on Sam Burns, but he was really low owned, so I liked that. So some things to look forward to. Some of my top guys are going to have to, get it into gear and whatever. I think the cut line's going to very likely be +1, possibly even, but I'm going with +1 as the cut line from what I expect, even though it's leaning a little more towards even and -1 right now. I would bet on Zalatoris tomorrow, by the way, guys. I think Zalatoris has a big round tomorrow on him. My spend ups on FanDuel. So that's the thing tonight. My builds are sort of middling out. So I'm not playing any lineups on FanDuel, but I did look through everything. The actual guys, like, I think that, you can get to more of the Sabonis and Julius Randle if you want to. I think that if you wanted to, I think I'm just sort of doing the same thing, to be honest. I would play Jrue Holiday. I would play Bane. I'm sort of spending the same way. I'm not really spending up. I think that if you wanted to get different and play a Fox or something like that, that's an interesting way to go. I think that you'll get lower ownership on Jaren Jackson over there, although he's not showing up as much on DK as I thought either. So Jaren Jackson is another one I would use. I don't really love the spend all the way ups today. So I think if I had to pick any, Sabonis and Randall would be my two, along with Markkanen. But I'm preferring the guys just beneath them in Bane, Holiday, Tyus Jones, Chris Middleton. I do think Mikal Bridges is an interesting tournament play. We've seen him kind of go off at times in this role, and I think to stay in the game, he might try and take that on his shoulders. So I would play a little Bridges. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, Brandon. Saving a spot for 2 from the New York game. Nope, I'm not doing that, but I don't mind if you do. I do think that getting 1 Randall, 1 Sabonis lineup, but I don't even that doesn't give me enough to save for the plays that I want to know about. So no, I'm not trying to do that at all. I think that if I was playing a bunch of lineups, maybe I'd do it with 1 or 2. All right, guys, I'm going to be in the premium NBA chat for most of the rest of the night. I'll jump into the NBA chat and say what's up to what's going on to people here and there. Keep an eye out for starting lineups, and they very well may shake out different than you expect them to. So just keep an eye out, and I'll be doing the same. So good luck to everybody. Oh, yeah, I already mentioned Bobby Portis I think he's totally fine. I prefer the Holiday Middleton myself, but I have no problem if you want to play Bobby Portis instead, is what I said. Anyway, guys, that's all of the new stuff I have. This is like a 6-game slate that I'm playing like a 2-game slate, and I'm not going to change my mind on it. I went through every game of everybody I'd consider, but I don't think that it's like there's a whole lot I can invest in without seeing starting lineups anymore, which I'm happy to go through in our premium Discord. Anyway, guys, hopefully I'll be much healthier by tomorrow and back in it. I thought I was doing better this morning, and then I ate and got sick, but let's make some money tonight. I'll be in Discord going over anything with you guys. Feel free to shoot your lineups in the premium one because it's a small group of us and it's the people who subscribe to the site only, and you can get some good feedback there. So good luck, everybody.